Hello, my dear students. This is Raman Rana here, your mathematics teacher, Cambridge International School, Dasua. Today, we will revise chapter number 8, trigonometry. So, dear students, today we will revise chapter number 8, trigonometry, as this is the prescribed syllabus for the upcoming quiz, mathematics quiz, which is on 1st of June. So in chapter 8, we will take the basic concepts. First, that is the introduction. Second, on introduction, we have the trigonometric ratios. What is trigonometric? Trigonometric ratios and utility of trigonometry, from where trigonometry is derived, application in day-to-day life. Exercise 8.1 is based on the trigonometric ratios, and then exercise 8.2 we have trigonometric ratios of some specific angles. So second topic, we will revise trigonometric ratios, trigonometric ratio of some specific angles. Then third, we have the concept of complementary angles. When we are talking about trigonometry, we are talking about right angle triangle. So in right angle triangle, we have one right angle and the remaining two angles, their sum is always 90 degree, always complementary. So third concept, that is the trigonometric ratio of complementary angles. And the last concept, that is your trigonometric identities. So we have studied in detail the trigonometric identities. We have in our syllabus 3 fundamental identities, and on that basis we have exercise 8.4. So the last topic in this chapter is trigonometric identities. So, dear students, as in the beginning of the chapter, the introduction to the trigonometry, we have studied in a chapter triangle also. If any tower is there, any long tree is there, or like in a book, one example is given of Qutub Minar. If here A, B, like this is the height of a Qutub Minar. Now if you want to find the height of Qutub Minar, so we cannot take some scale to measure it, but we can definitely measure a distance, the horizontal distance on the ground from the foot of this minar or any pole. This AB can be any tree, any tower, or any pole, and we can, this distance C we can measure very easily because this is the ground surface, and we can measure this angle also, angle C here. So with the help of trigonometry, without actually measuring the height, this AB, with the, if we can, this let capital H is the distance of CB. So very easily, if we can know this angle, let this angle is theta. So very easily, applying the concept of trigonometry, we can find the height of the tower any long tree, Qutub Minar, or even in ancient time, the mathematician, they have found the distance of moon from the earth. So by the help of trigonometry, we can find such distances which we cannot find directly. So trigonometry is having a great importance in our day-to-day life. The trigonometry is derived from the Greek word. Tri means three, gon means sides, and metron means the measure. So to define in a very general term or very basic concept, the trigonometry is the study of the relation of the sides of a triangle and its angles. So dear students, the basic concept of trigonometry, we are always going with the right angle triangle. If we have a right angle triangle, like this is point A here, B is a right angle here, and C. So here, if we are considering this angle here, that this angle is theta or angle A here, then in a right angle triangle, always the longest side is the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse. Here AC is the hypotenuse. The side opposite to the right angle is the hypotenuse. Or longest side of the triangle in right angle triangle is always the hypotenuse. We are denoting it with capital H. Now if we are considering this acute angle theta or angle A, with respect to A, the ratio of the three sides, we have a side AB, BC and AC. So here, as we know, sine of angle A. Sine of angle A, as we know, sine is perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So here perpendicular is BC upon AC. So same cosine of angle A, that is base upon hypotenuse, that is AB upon AC, and tangent of angle A. Tangent is your perpendicular upon base. So here BC upon AB. Let me again tell you, here we are saying sine of angle A. Sine is P upon H, perpendicular upon hypotenuse. Perpendicular here. So which side is perpendicular and which is base? We have to go for the angle first. Come to this picture again. If I am talking about angle C, this angle is theta. This side is the hypotenuse here. The longest side, that AC, is the hypotenuse. This side is the adjacent side. This is the adjacent side to this angle, and this here, that is this AB here, this AB, this H is the opposite side. So dear students, always the opposite side, here in this triangle ABC, we have AB is the base. Why base? Because we are talking about angle A here, hypotenuse, and this is the adjacent side to this angle A, and we are going for angle A, and this side is the opposite side here, that is BC. So BC is the perpendicular. Let me take one more triangle. And if a triangle is PQR, right angle at Q, this angle is P here and this angle is R. So here, if we are going for the angle P, then hypotenuse is always the longest side and the side adjacent to this hypotenuse is the base. If we are going for sine of P, then we are saying sine of P is perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So here RQ is the perpendicular here because opposite, this side is opposite to this angle P. So sine of P is RQ upon PR. So dear students, very first important concept, I am writing here sine of angle A. In short form, I can write sine of angle A, that is perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So I will, in short form, I am writing sine of angle A. Please, the majority of students, they are reading it as sin, cos, tan. Although we are writing as sine of A, cosine of A, tangent of angle A. So cosine of A is B upon H, tangent is P upon B. So always we will write this in the short form, sine of A, cosine of A, tangent of A. So please make it a habit to read it as sine of A, cosine of A, tangent of A. Now they are reciprocal. So here we have sine of A is equal to P upon H. So its reciprocal is cosecant of A, or in angle A, which is equal to H upon P, hypotenuse upon perpendicular. So we are writing in short form cosecant of A, that is H, that is hypotenuse AC, and P is BC here. Now the reciprocal of cosine of A. The reciprocal of cosine of A is secant of A. Secant. Although secant is secant, in short form, secant of angle A is equal to, again, reciprocal of cosine, that is H upon B. And the reciprocal of tangent is cotangent. Cotangent of A, reciprocal. It is 1 upon cotangent of A. So, dear students, I have discussed with you about the pronunciation of these P ratios. We have 6 ratios. Let me explain in general. So, if we have a triangle, a right angle triangle or any triangle, then if let this side is A, B and C, let these are the A, B and C are the length of the 3 respective sides of a triangle, then we can have a ratio A upon B or B upon A, C upon A or A upon C, or we have left with B upon C or C upon B. So we have these only 6 alternate ratios. Here ABC we are going with hypotenuse, base and the perpendicular. So finally, if I am going for one triangle PQR, now I will change the angle. If I am going for angle R, then the concept will change. So here, if I am going for first angle P, so sine of P, cosine of P, tangent of P, cotangent of P, then secant of P, and the last is cosecant of P. So always pronounce in this way: sine of P, cosine of P, tangent of P, cotangent of P. So here, when we are going for this angle P, hypotenuse will not change. Hypotenuse is the longest side of the triangle, that is PR. And here, this is the adjacent side. So base is PQ. This is the base. The adjacent sides. Adjacent means जो इससे लगी हुई side. If we have suppose this all these fingers, so here these two are adjacent to each other. Suppose I am talking about these two, so here both are adjacent to each other. If I am talking about this third finger, then again these two are adjacent to each other, but these are not adjacent to each. So we have the third side, that is the opposite side, which is the perpendicular here. So here sine of P. Now you all remember the formula Pandit, Badri, Prashad and Har Har Bol. You are remembering with so many names, so many ways. In Punjabi also, some in other like Pakistan, Bhukha Pyasa, Hindustan, Hara Bhara, so on. So even in Punjabi also you are remembering so many ways. So here Pandit, Badri, Prashad, Har Har Bol. So P upon H, that is perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So here, that is perpendicular here is QR upon PR. What is cosine of P? Cosine is base upon hypotenuse. So base is PQ upon PR. Tangent is, this is your sine. P upon H is sine. B upon H is cosine. And P upon B, perpendicular upon base, is the tangent of the angle or tangent of the theta. So here tangent of P is perpendicular upon the base. So here it is again QR upon PQ. Cotangent is reciprocal of, cotangent can be written as 1 upon tangent of P. So it can be written as PQ upon QR. PQ upon QR. Similarly, secant of P, or here sine of P can be written as the reciprocal of cosecant of P, and cosine of P can be written as 1 upon secant of P, and tangent can be written as 1 upon cotangent. They are reciprocal of each other. So here secant of P is the reciprocal of, so it is PR upon PQ, that is hypotenuse upon base, and the again it is PR upon RQ. So my main concept now is changed. If I am going with angle R, same figure, this is important now. So we have studied all these T ratios, 6 trigonometric ratios with respect to angle P. But we have one more angle here, angle R, which is also acute angle. And we can also find the trigonometric ratios of angle R. So here, if I am going for the ratio angle R, sine of R, if I am going for sine of R, now when I am talking about angle R here, hypotenuse remains the same. Hypotenuse remains the same, but the base and the perpendicular will change, because this is the hypotenuse now, and the adjacent side, this is the adjacent side. So adjacent side is the base, we know, and the side opposite, longest side is the hypotenuse, and the side opposite to this angle R, this side is called the perpendicular here. So for sine of R, it remains same, P upon H, but P is here PQ upon PR. Similarly, cosine of R or tangent of R and secant, cosecant, we are taking angle R here. So cosine of R, base is RQ upon hypotenuse is PR. Tangent is PQ upon QR. So dear students, I hope now it is very much clear to you. If we have two acute angles, angle P and angle R, when I am talking about angle P, then sine P, the ratio, that is sine of P or sine of R, that is always perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So when we are going for these two angles, we have to interchange, or we have to take the base and perpendicular accordingly, right? Let me give 1, 2 or 3 more diagram here, so that you don't have any kind of confusion. If I have a triangle here, that triangle is, that this angle is A, right angle at B, and this is C. If I am talking about sine of A, sine of A, sine of A, so perpendicular is BC. We know this is P upon H. So perpendicular here is, that is equal to BC upon AC. So I hope it is very clear. But if I am talking about sine of C, this angle if we are talking about, so sine of C is AB upon AC. Similarly, if I am talking about cosine of A, so cosine of A is AB, because it is a base and this is the perpendicular. So here cosine of A is equal to base upon hypotenuse. Base here is AB and hypotenuse is AC. But if I am going for cosine of C, then it is base is BC upon AC. So similarly, we can go for all other trigonometric ratios. If we are going for angle with the angle A, and if we are going with angle C, then we will have to change perpendicular and base with each other. Now our exercise 8.1, that is simply based on this concept, basic concepts. Like we have one example, simple example. Example number 1, whole exercise 8.1 is there. In exercise, we have a simple question like example 1 is there. In example 1, we have given that tangent of theta is equal to 4 upon 3. Find all t ratios. Find all trigonometric ratios. So here tangent of theta is equal to, we know, perpendicular upon base. So if we have a right angle triangle, then in the right angle triangle, let this angle is theta here. Let's take A, B, C is the triangle. So perpendicular upon base. This is the perpendicular, that is 4. This is 3. First we will apply the Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras theorem says that by Pythagoras theorem, it says that hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus perpendicular square. So here we have AC square is equal to base square plus perpendicular square. So it is 3 square plus 4 square. So here we have 9 plus 16 is equal to 25. So AC is equal to under root 25, which is equal to 5 units. So we have the length of the third side is 5. In some of the questions we have always these three sides, they are Pythagorean triplets. Like we can have, there are so many questions, examples, like we have a triangle in which if one side is 12, another is 5, then this side is 13, because we know 13 square is equal to 5 square plus 12 square. 169 is equal to 25 plus 144. So 169 is equal to 169. So always there is a relation that hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus perpendicular square. One more example we have. If we have a triangle in which sides are given, if it is a right angle P, let P, Q, R here, and the sides are given, if one side is given 8, this side is given 10, how to find QR? Again, with Pythagoras theorem says that PR square is equal to PQ square plus QR square. Here we want to find the length, this QR. So here 10 square is equal to 8 square plus QR square, that is x square. So here x square is equal to 100 minus 64 is equal to 36. So this implies that x is equal to under root 36 is equal to 6. So third side, this is 6. So always when we are talking about right angle triangle, these three sides, they always hold this Pythagoras theorem, that is hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus perpendicular square. Now if we have in first exercise, we have these questions, and if we have to find if let question is any ratio, tangent, cotangent, sine, if let sine is sine of angle A, let's say sine of angle A is equal to 5 upon 13. When we are talking about 5 upon 13, this is the perpendicular, this is hypotenuse. So hypotenuse here in this example, if I am talking about angle A here, so A is here, right angle, this side is 13, and perpendicular, this side is given 5. This is B, C, and question is, if sine of A is 5 upon 13, find all t ratios. So by applying Pythagoras theorem, again we can find that the side is 12, and we can find the cosine of A is equal to base is 12, hypotenuse is 13, tangent of A is perpendicular upon, if again you want to write, say Pandit Badri Prasad Har Bol. But at this time when you are revising the unit, there is no need to write, no need to draw a table, because next we are coming on the specific angles. So it should be in your mind that sine is perpendicular upon hypotenuse. Cosine of the angle is base upon hypotenuse. Tangent is your perpendicular upon base. So perpendicular upon base is 5 upon 12. Now I am changing the question. If I am going with angle C, so if I am going with angle C, because if I am asking what is sine of angle C, cosine of angle C and tangent of angle C. So here only the base and the perpendicular will change. Now this will become base and this will become the perpendicular. Here 12 upon 13, that is perpendicular upon hypotenuse, because now the opposite side is AB. Cosine of C, this angle is C, so cosine of C is base, 5 upon 13. And one more interesting thing, here sine of A and cosine of C, these values are always same. We have questions in first exercise and third exercise, complementary angles, we will discuss this relation in detail. So I hope this first very basic concept of the trigonometry you all understood. Now switch over to the second topic, that is the trigonometric ratios of some specific angles. So dear students, you should remember the values of the specific angles. So topic second, on this second, that is topic 8.2 is based that the trigonometric ratio of specific angles. We have proved also. So what are these specific angles we are talking about? 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree and 90 degree. So chart is given in the book, but you should remember these values. In the beginning, as a beginner, we have practiced in the classes also the chart. If here we have 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree and 90 degree. Now, if we are going with the sine of theta, so we have started with 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4, roughly dividing all these number by 4. These are the values for your sine of theta. Sine of 0 degree, sine first. Sine of 0 is taking under root of all. What I have done, I have taken 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and dividing all these numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 by 4 and taking under root of all. So here sine of 0, that is 0. Sine of 30, under root, remember one thing, under root 1. Under root 1 is 1. Please remember. So 1, this is 1 by 2. Here sine of 45 degree is 1 by under root 2. Here it is under root 3 by 2 because under root 4 is 2 and here it is 1. So under root 1 is 1. So this is the first table which we have to remember. This is the very first table. Sine of 0 is 0. Sine of 30 degree is 1 by 2. And sine of 45 degrees 1 by under root 2. And sine of 60 degrees under root 3 by 2. And sine of 90 degrees 1. So we have to remember these 5 values of these specific angles. Now the sequence will change. For cosine of the theta, for the cosine of theta, the sequence will change. For cosine of theta, cosine of 0, 1, this is here. Sine of 90 degree and cosine of 0, this is 1. Now here that is under root 3 by 2, under root 3 by 2, sine of 60 degree and cosine of 30 degree, same value. Next, here 1 by 2 and 0, all 5 in the reverse order. Here 1, here this second last, the second now, third is third position, and so here this is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now we know the property, as I have not discussed with you, that tangent of theta is your P upon B, but it is also equal to sine of P or sine of theta upon cosine of theta, because sine of theta is P upon H and cosine of theta is B upon H. So H and H cancel, so it is P upon H. So here tangent of theta is equal to, tangent of theta is 0 upon 1. So here that is 0. Tangent of 30 degree, that is sine upon cosine. So here tangent of 30 is 1 upon under root 3. Tangent 45 is 1. And tangent 60 is under root 3 here. And 1 divided by 0 is not defined. So dear students, we have the specific angles and their trigonometric ratios, sine, cosine and tangent. Now if we want to find secant, cosecant, cotangent, take their reciprocal. So it is very important to remember these trigonometric ratios. No need to make a table and waste the time in the exam especially, right? So these are very simple and used so many times in this chapter also and the next chapter. That is, let me make the table now in a very simple way. So I hope you have remembered. First, 0 degree, sine 0 is 0. Then we have 1 by 2, 1 by under root 2, we have under root 3 by 2 and we have 1. I am talking about first 5 ratios. That is, sine of 0 is 0, sine of 30 1 by 2, sine of 45 1 by under root 2, 60 and 90. Then next we have 1 under root 3 by 2, 1 by under root 2 and 1 by 2, and here it is 0. This is for sine, this is for cosine and this is for the tangent. Tangent, when we divide here 0, this is 1 by under root 3, this is tangent 45 is 1 and tangent 60 is and this is not defined. So in next chapter, chapter number 9, we have to remember only these 9 values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, because in practical applications we are not going dealing with 0 angle and 90-degree angle, and only these 9 ratios are very, very important. Always we have 4 marks questions from chapter number 9. So you have to remember always these for the next chapter. That's why it is very, very important, and there is no need to go for the table or something. So dear students, I hope it is clear to you people. Next we have the concept of complementary angles. The concept of complementary angles, trigonometric ratios of complementary angles. This is the main concept. Majority of students, they have the problem here, and if this angle is A, this angle is B, this angle is C, or let's take this angle is theta. If this angle is theta, let me explain. Angle B here is 90 degree, and angle A plus angle C is equal to also 90 degree, because here angle A and angle C, their sum is 90 degree. So that's why they are, both these angles A and C are complementary to each other, because their sum is 90 degree. If one angle is theta, let this angle is theta, this angle is, its measure is theta, then theta is equal to, or theta plus angle C is equal to 90 degree. So angle C is equal to 90 minus theta. So it is very, very important in the beginning. If this angle is suppose theta, this angle is 90 minus theta. For example, let this angle is 20 degree. If this angle is 20 degree, this angle is 70 degree. Or you can write 90 minus 20. So I hope it is clear to you people that both these angles are complementary to each other. If one angle is theta, another is 90 minus theta. Now come to the concept of sine of theta is equal to cosine of 90 minus theta. Always sine of theta, or in another way you can check here, if these sides, take any side, let this side is 12, this side is 5, and this is 13. So here if I am saying sine of angle A, if I am talking about sine of angle A, is always equal to cosine of C, always. And also if I am going with sine of C, it is always equal to cosine of A. Either in this format we can write, but in book how they are writing, sine of theta, cosine of theta is equal to sine of 90 minus theta. Sine of theta is equal to cosine of 90 minus theta. Cosine of theta is sine, means sine is changing to cosine and cosine is changing to again sine, right? Complementary angle. If here I have taken angle A plus angle C is equal to 90 degree, means both are acute angles, because angle B I have taken 90 degree. So here sine of A is always equal to cosine of C, and your cosine of A is equal to sine of C. But here in our books formula is in this way, standard form, sine of theta, this is the thing, we can find the value as we have taken the diagram in any practical situation, that A, B, C, that one side is 3, 4, this is 5. So we can check always here sine of A and cosine of C are equal, cosine of A and sine of C are equal. So I hope this formula is clear to you people. Now same grounds, tangent of theta is equal to tangent of theta. If tangent is P upon B, so cotangent is, it's reciprocal, but here when we are changing, so it is cotangent of 90 minus theta. Let me take again in case of tangent and cotangent of theta is equal to tangent of 90 minus theta. Now in case of A and C, tangent here, tangent of A is equal to cotangent of C, because this angle is theta, this angle is 90 minus theta. So tangent one is 3 upon 4 when we are going with angle A, but when we are going with C, then cotangent, that is same value, that is in tangent of A here is 3 upon 4 and cotangent of C is again 3 upon 4. So both values are always equal. So we can go ahead, the tangent always changes to, these are the concept of complementary angles. Sine changes to cosine, cosine changes to sine, tangent changes to cotangent and cotangent changes to tangent. And the last one, that is secant. Secant of theta is equal to cosecant of 90 minus theta, and cosecant of theta is equal to secant of 90 minus theta. So here secant or is changing to cosecant. So we are talking about two angles, complementary angles, like I have taken A and C here in the figure. So this is the concept of complementary angles. Suppose we have in a particular diagram, let me take one diagram here. If this angle is 10 degree and let this is A, this is C here, and so this angle is always 80 degree. So if I am talking about sine of 10 degree or sine of 10 degree, that is always equal to P upon BC upon AC. Now if I am talking about cosine of C, sine A cosine C, which is 80 degree. For 80 degree again cosine, that is base BC upon AC. So we can write directly that sine of 10 degree is equal to cosine of 80 degree, because these two angles are complementary to each other. So we have 8.3 totally based on this concept of complementary angles. Now we have the last concept, that is trigonometric identities. So on the basis of identities, we have the last exercise also. This exercise here, that is trigonometric identities. We have three fundamental identities. First is sine square of theta plus cosine square of theta is equal to 1. Second one, 1 plus tangent square of theta is equal to secant square of theta. And the third one is 1 plus cotangent square of theta is equal to your cosecant square of theta. So its proof is very simple, given in the book. We can draw one right angle triangle. Let this angle is A, 90 degree. See here. Now left hand side, sine square theta, that is here BC is the perpendicular, AC hypotenuse, plus cosine is AB square upon AC square. So here we have LCM, AC square, and it is BC square plus AB square. We know by Pythagoras theorem, BC square plus AB square is BC square plus AB square is equal to AC square, or base square plus perpendicular square is equal to hypotenuse square. This is the statement of Pythagoras theorem. So here this is equal to AC square upon AC square, which is equal to 1, and which is further equal to your RHS, right hand side, that is 1 here. Similarly, we can prove these identities. Now in very beginning we have in exercise 8.4, very first second questions, they are saying that write the all trigonometric ratios in terms of cosine, sine or tangent. So this is a very tricky questions, as we have discussed in the class also, that we can, if we want to write all trigonometric ratios in terms of cosine. So how to write all trigonometric ratios in terms of cosine? So we can draw a diagram. Take one right angle triangle, like this is ABC. Cosine of theta, we know cosine of theta is base upon hypotenuse. Cosine of theta is equal, like this angle is theta, or A, we can go ahead with A, whatever you want. Cosine of A is equal to base upon hypotenuse. So can I write here cosine of A upon 1? Yes. This is cosine of A is equal to cosine of A upon 1. So what is cosine of? That is base upon height. If base is cosine A, then hypotenuse is 1. So I can substitute the value here. For this angle theta, hypotenuse is 1, and this AB is cosine of theta or cosine of A. I hope it is very clear. If this is the right angle and I am talking about angle A here, so cosine of A means cosine of A upon 1, B upon hypotenuse. So hypotenuse here is 1. So applying Pythagoras theorem, Pythagoras theorem says that 1 square, that AC square is equal to cosine of A whole square plus BC whole square. So what is the BC? BC whole square is equal to 1 minus cosine square of A. So here we can substitute this value. This side is here 1 minus cosine square of A. I hope it is very clear by trigonometric ratios. So here, dear students, if I have to find what is sine of A, sine of A, perpendicular is 1 minus cosine square of A upon 1. Even from, it is evident from the identity also. Now, what is cosine of A? Cosine of A is cosine of A. That is base upon hypotenuse. Now, what is tangent of A? tangent of A in terms of, that is 1 minus cosine square of A upon cosine of A. And what is cosecant of A? Take the reciprocal, that is 1 upon 1 minus cosine square of A. So similarly, secant of A, 1 upon cosine A. And what is cotangent A? Cotangent A is cosine A upon 1 minus cosine A. So, dear students, some students, they called me today and they are saying that they have a problem in this question. So, in next revision lesson also, I will take these questions again, and you can practice these questions. And one more thing, in these identities we can change, and the last, all these identities we can write in different ways. Sine square theta plus cosine square theta is 1. So we can also write sine square theta is equal to 1 minus cosine square theta, or sine theta is equal to under root 1 minus cosine square theta, right? Reciprocal of sine is 1 upon cosecant of theta, that is same, that is 1 minus cosine square of theta. So here its reciprocal is cosecant theta, so it is 1 upon under root 1 minus. Similarly, we can go ahead with cosine square of theta is equal to 1 minus sine square of theta. Cosine of theta under root 1 minus sine square of theta. We can substitute all these values. 1 upon secant theta is equal to same. Or secant of theta taking reciprocal, that is 1 upon under root 1 minus sine square of theta. So dear students, I hope this identities are clear to you. We can write, this is only the first identity we can write, we can replace these things with the, because here equality is there, equal to sign is there, okay? So both left hand side, right hand side, they are equal to each other. So I hope this basic concept you are understanding, and you are able to now apply this acquired knowledge to solve the exercise questions also. And still in the next tomorrow's video, I will take some more questions and the concepts. So thank you very much. Stay safe, stay healthy.